Have you ever felt, I don't know, trapped? Maybe by a habit or a system, even just your own way of thinking, and you're just longing for some kind of breakthrough.
Hmm.
Well, today we're doing a deep dive into a really powerful, really personal story of transformation. It's about a journey from um, years of substance abuse to, well, vibrant health and this incredible focus.
Yeah, it's quite the turnaround.
It really is. And our source for this is a fascinating article that summarizes a pretty raw, very candid conversation about this whole
Yeah.
journey. So our mission today really is to pull out the key insights. What does it actually take to transform your life like that? How do mindsets really shift? And maybe even look at health itself differently through this lens of like personal empowerment, maybe even decentralization.
Yeah, interesting angle.
Yeah. The idea is to uncover some surprising facts, maybe some practical perspectives you can apply to your own understanding of well-being. What I find really compelling here is how it weaves together this story of just incredible resilience with a pretty thought-provoking take on what it even means to be well.
It definitely challenges some norms.
Okay, let's unpack this then. We actually start not with the triumph, but with the struggle. The article paints a really vivid picture of his early life, which is worlds away from where he is now.
Indeed. He was born in Orange County, California, but apparently the family moved to Wisconsin pretty young. This was tied to his parents' divorce and his mother facing some financial hardship.
Oh, okay.
And he mentions growing up with this feeling, this scarcity mindset, he calls it, like never quite having enough.
And then came the drugs. The article mentions he tried ecstasy after high school.
Yeah, that was the first one mentioned. And he's quite clear it wasn't like therapeutic or exploratory. He called it recreational and excessive.
Okay, so just partying.
Pretty much. And he explicitly calls it a gateway to, other things.
And did it escalate quickly from there?
Oh, yeah. The article details how that led pretty rapidly into cocaine, opioids, heavy drinking.
Wow.
Yeah, by his early 20s, he was deep in it. Using drugs, it says, at least 4 days a week. And this went on for over a decade.
A whole decade. How did he even manage that?
Well, the article mentions what he calls survival mechanisms, things like starting to sell drugs, probably to fund his own use, and also cycling between substances, maybe to manage tolerance or just keep things going.
Right. Juggling it all. It sounds exhausting.
Definitely.
The article then describes this moment. It really hits home how deep the addiction was. It was when his mother flew down unexpectedly. A real turning point, or maybe just a stark realization.
Yeah, that's a really vivid, kind of brutal detail the article includes. She found him down in Florida, just completely intoxicated.
Huh?
And the specific image used is him putting a cigarette out on his own hand while high, just
Yeah.
casually.
Oof. That paints a picture. That must have been devastating for her.
You'd have to imagine so. It really underscores just how bad things had gotten.
So after that, did things change immediately? Did he try to get clean then?
Well, he made some initial attempts. He went back to Wisconsin with his mom, got sober for a bit.
No.
But the article says he relapsed pretty quickly. It points to, environmental triggers and his social circles, even though he was apparently in therapy and trying to sort of make his mom happy.
Right. The old environment can be really powerful.
And his job choice certainly didn't help matters. He ended up working as a bar manager. Not just any bars, but like top nightclubs in Wisconsin.
Oh, wow. Straight back into the fire, basically.
Exactly. It kept him completely immersed in that culture, the nightlife, the after parties, constant access. It just, perpetuated the whole cycle, almost guaranteed relapse, really.
So the rock bottom moment people often talk about.
Yeah.
What was it like that for him? One big crash?
Interestingly, no. The article describes it less as a single dramatic event and more like a gradual dawning, a slow realization. He's quoted as just getting sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Huh. Just sheer exhaustion with it all.
Yeah, exactly. And exhaustion with the whole lifestyle.
Okay, so not this sudden, dramatic, overnight change then. The article frames his path out as more of a, progressive journey, an internal shift.
That's what's really fascinating here, yeah. It wasn't just about gritting his teeth and using willpower. It was more fundamental, a radical redefinition of what he even wanted.
What do you mean?
He talks about this powerful mindset shift, moving from thinking, I want this thing, but I can't have it, that feeling of deprivation.
Right, the struggle.
Yeah, to genuinely realizing, I can have this if I want, but I actually don't want it anymore.
Ah, okay. That's a huge difference.
It's massive. Now, the insight there is that real freedom isn't just denying yourself something you crave. It's about, recalibrating the craving itself.
How do you do that?
by understanding the real impact.
Mm.
He specifically mentions alcohol, for instance, saying it lowered his, and this is his term, vibrational frequency.
Vibrational frequency. Okay, unpack that a bit.
Yeah, it sounds a bit out there maybe, but think of it as like his overall energy, his mood, his sense of well-being, his ability to connect with his goals. He realized alcohol actively dragged that down, hindered his growth, his happiness.
So it wasn't worth the trade-off anymore.
Exactly. The desire shifted because the perceived value shifted. He didn't want that low-frequency feeling.
The narrative also weaves in this spiritual and health awakening then. It mentions concepts like quantum physics and creating one's reality.
Right. For him, that seems to mean consciously manifesting the future he wanted, believing he could create it. And the article stresses that this whole mindset shift, incorporating these ideas, was absolutely critical to his recovery.
So it makes you think, doesn't it? For anyone listening, maybe what small reevaluation could you make? Shifting your desire away from something that maybe deep down you know isn't really serving you.
It's a powerful question.
And that internal pivot, that change in thinking, it didn't just stop at his personal habits, did it? It seems like it fundamentally reshaped how he saw, well, external systems too.
That's right.
Which brings us to a really provocative part of the article, something many of us just take for granted, our healthcare system.
Yeah, he definitely takes a swing at it. There's this recurring theme of, let's say, skepticism towards conventional medicine running through the piece.
Like skepticism how?
Mainly around its focus. He argues it tends to just treat symptoms, rather than getting to the root causes of problems.
Okay, I've heard that critique before.
Right. But he takes it a step further. He basically says the goal, maybe implicitly, is to create lifelong customers through medication dependency.
Wow, blunt.
It is. He even uses the phrase, patient cured is a customer lost. Pretty stark observation.
That is a powerful and, quite cynical take on it.
Yeah.
Does he offer reasons why he thinks it works that way?
Yes.
Like beyond just, dependency?
It seems rooted in the financial incentives, primarily, suggesting the system isn't really set up for, radical wellness or cures, but more for ongoing management, because that's where the money is, perhaps.
Yeah.
And he doesn't stop there. He draws us a really interesting parallel. He uses a Bitcoin analogy.
Bitcoin.
Mm.
How does that connect to health? That seems like a leap.
It does at first, but his logic is interesting. He connects the sort of philosophy of the Bitcoin community, or at least his interpretation of it, to his own approach to health.
Okay, how so?
He talks about striving for a low time preference, high quality existence.
Low time preference,
Yeah.
meaning thinking long term.
Exactly. Prioritizing long-term well-being, making strategic, patient choices rather than chasing immediate gratification or quick fixes.
Right. Delaying gratification for a better future.
Yes. And he argues you should apply that same thinking to both your wealth and your health. In both areas, he advocates for self-sovereignty, breaking free from these big centralized systems.
So banks on the one hand and big
Yeah.
pharma on the other.
That seems to be the implication, yeah.
Yeah.
He points to the statistic, how by age 65, so many people are on a dozen or more medications within the conventional system.
Yeah, that number's often cited.
And his decentralized health idea seems to be about questioning that default path. Reclaiming your own agency, taking personal responsibility, seeking knowledge beyond just the mainstream centralized channels.
So just like Bitcoin offers a way to control your own finances outside the traditional banking system.
He's suggesting we can, and maybe should, apply that same principle to our health. Take ownership. Don't just passively accept the standard route.
It's a provocative idea. It definitely makes you think about how much control we feel we have or don't have over our own well-being.
Absolutely. Connecting it back to the bigger picture, it's not just about personal health choices, is it? It's about a whole mindset shift regarding control, autonomy, your life, your resources, everything.
Okay, so let's pivot to the outcome then. After all this struggle, this internal shift, this questioning of systems, what does his life actually look like now? The article must describe the transformation.
Oh, yeah, it does. Now he's in his 40s, and he's described as being healthier, more energetic than ever, super focused, shredded is the word used.
Credit, okay.
Yeah, and just really passionate about wellness, living it.
And how did he achieve that physical transformation? Was it just the mindset?
The mindset was key, but it led to concrete actions, intentional lifestyle changes. Better nutrition, obviously, consistent exercise. He also mentions getting regular blood work done.
Okay, monitoring things.
Right. And using tools maybe not typically found in conventional medicine, like peptides. Those are specific amino acid chains that can support various functions and other sort of advanced wellness strategies, taking a proactive, informed approach.
So he really took the reins. It wasn't just about not doing the bad stuff, but actively building the good stuff.
Exactly. It's a complete overhaul.
And the article, it isn't just his personal story then. It sounds like he's trying to share this message, like a call to action.
It really is. He directly challenges people listening or reading, especially men, actually.
Oh, my men specifically.
He seems to feel men, maybe culturally, sometimes neglect their health. He urges them to prioritize it, not just for themselves, but as a commitment to their families. Like, being truly present and capable for your loved ones means striving for wellness, for longevity.
That's a powerful frame. Health as a form of responsibility to others.
Yeah. And he ties it back to that decentralization idea, advocating for both decentralized health and decentralized wealth, encouraging everyone to really take ownership, take responsibility for their own well-being.
Just like you would with your finances in that Bitcoin world he talks about.
Precisely, which, raises that question for you listening. How much responsibility are you truly taking for your own well-being right now? Are there maybe areas where you're just kind of passively relying on external systems without really questioning it?
That's definitely food for thought. What an incredible journey we've kind of traced today. From the absolute depths of addiction, stuck in conventional thinking, to this place of, well, self-sovereignty in his health, in his life, all guided by this really profound shift in mindset and this willingness to question the big systems around us.
It really does underscore the power of transforming how you think, doesn't it? Taking that radical ownership.
Absolutely.
And the article really highlights how powerful that shift can be, not just for getting over adversity, which is huge in itself, but for actively designing a life of, true self-sovereignty.
Designing it, yeah.
So maybe here's a final thought to mull over. Where in your life, could be anywhere, might you be relying on external systems, or maybe just old thought patterns, old habits that are subtly holding you back, hindering that high-quality existence he talks about? And what's maybe one small step, doesn't have to be huge, that you could take toward reclaiming a bit more of that personal autonomy, whether it's, in your health, your finances, maybe just your daily habits.
One small step towards taking back control.
Yeah.
That's a great takeaway.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive today. Lots to think about there.